Tai Lopez made me leave my job, and he told me that my business model was completely broken. In this video, I'm going to do a full breakdown of the lessons that I've learned from Tai Lopez, from going to his events all around the world and to actually sitting down and having dinner with Tai in London. So I first came across Tai probably back in 2017. At the time, I was selling products online, doing a lot of e-commerce, and he was just an interesting guy. I remember his ad, and he was doing a lot of YouTube lives, and it was the first time that I discovered, damn, you can sell services online. Like, I had only really begun my entrepreneurship journey, so I wasn't really aware of this, and I seen Tai push the SMMA model massively. So I actually went with some friends to Miami to Grant Cardone's 10X conference, and then this is where we actually got to see Tai speak. And I remember he pitched some, mastermind at the end of it, and one of the guys I was with at the time, he actually bought it. So we flew back over to LA a couple of months later, and we went to Tai's private mastermind, which at the time it was actually meant to be in his villa, but classic Tai, the morning of, he changed it to a hotel because he oversold it. But it was amazing. There was some great people there. I remember meeting Dan Fleshman and Cole Hatter as well, along with a lot of other people. And I remember, I'll put up the clip right now. I got a clip. I remember waiting like 20 minutes to speak with Tai, and then I asked him, what's your advice if you want to leave your 9-to-5 job?
Formal education's always like 10 years behind. That's why. So you got to catch the new trends. Like, by the time it makes it to a textbook or a classroom, it's already 10 years old,
Yeah.
So.
And the best way to leave your 9-to-5?
Two schools of thought. If you're a risk taker, just jump. But if you're one of those slow and sure, both plans work. You can go slow too. My first mentor went slow. He saved up enough money for cash reserves for 1 year, and then he made a jump. But either way, you can do it within a year. Yeah. Put it that way.
And Tai gave me two options. He was basically like, you can take the risk and just jump, or if you don't want to take risks, you can basically stack up cash, and then when it's the right time, you can jump. So after that, I'll never forget it, and I don't think I've ever told this story, especially not on camera, but after I got home from LA, I had just been in the room. There was like 200 people, probably over half of them millionaires, making so much money online, and I was completely new to this game. Like, yes, I had an e-commerce store, we were selling products, but it was very, very early on in my entrepreneurship journey. So when I got back, I was still working a job at the time. So when I got back, I remember being in work, and I was like, this is not for me. I've just been in LA, surrounded by business owners, learning from everyone. I was like, this is not what I want. So I remember ringing up and saying hey, I'm quitting, I'm going to do my own thing. And it was such a surreal moment. And I remember telling some people, and they said it's a wrong decision. I was doing an apprenticeship at the time, and I remember other people were happy for me and excited for me, and that was really the start of it. I think I had 90 days worth of living expenses in the bank, but I made it work. And if it wasn't for Tai, if it wasn't for going to that event, maybe I never would have left my job. So that's why it's so important, and I talk about this so much on this channel, is get out there, go to events, because it can have a massive impact on you. I would say that's thing number one that Tai taught me. He taught me how to quit my job. The second thing that I learned from Tai was to read more books, and the power of knowledge when you read the right books. I was never really a reader, to be totally honest. I actually find it hard to read. I'm not the best. I remember I failed English for my junior cert in school, so I could even be dyslexic. Who knows? I've never got truly tested for it. But Tai just really pushed reading, and to me it was a big shift. I remember I would literally spend hours and hours reading when I kind of first started out, when I was 17, 18, 19. Because of Tai, I would just read all day long, and now I've read hundreds of books, and some of the most popular ones that are out there in copywriting and business and mindset, on money, I read them, and I learned so much from an early age, and it was just so amazing. But I don't think this would have happened if it wasn't for Tai, because there's a lot of business mentors out there, there's a lot of people talking about marketing, talking about money, but Tai is the one who really talked about books, and his most viral ad ever was the Here in My garage video, and he was talking about his books. So for me, I really got that from Tai, the importance of reading books, and reading books really like to try and solve the problems with where you're at. And it's not just about business, it's about relationships as well. It's like he pushes the whole health, wealth, love and happiness. So it's really, really important to read more books, and I would say that I have gotten that from Tai Lopez. The third thing that I learned from Tai Lopez was he said that my business model was completely broken, and he said this in person in front of a room full of people. So this was really, really hard to hear this from Tai, but we were at a London mastermind. It was a private mastermind, probably about 20 people. And we actually flew to this mastermind to try and partner with Tai, or to get him to help us with this business. And then when we started to tell him about the business model, the structure, basically what it was we used to build brands for influencers. So we would build e-commerce brands, because back not even that long ago, 5 or 6 years ago, a lot of influencers were just doing sponsor posts and brand deals, and basically none of them owned their own brand, only a handful of people. So we were one of the first ones to really help influencers launch their own brands, so they don't have to worry about launching a product or worrying about logistics or email marketing or Facebook ads or building their own website. All they'd have to do is promote it to their audience, and as long as they launched a product that their audience wanted, they could do really, really good off it. However, when we told Tai the business model and how many people we were working with and how we had structured the deal, he was like, that is the worst thing ever. He was like, I could think of nothing worse. And it was really hard to hear this from Tai. So after we spoke to him about it a little bit more, and he said, just sell services online. So it wasn't long after that we pivoted that company, and then I mainly went into just doing email marketing, and then we obviously added SMS, and now we're full retention now. But once again, it's really interesting, like when you think back, and really I've not really reflected on this too much until I was like, okay, what video am I gonna make next? It's like Tai is the one that really made me leave my job, where he's the one that was like, you just got to do it. Once you're thinking about it, and once you know you're in the right place, you just got to do it. He helped me read so much, which is just, giving me the education and the knowledge that I need to grow my business and really just like get through life. He also told me that my last business model was completely broken. And the fourth thing that I learned from Tai was just the power of networking and connecting with people. And really, I've met so many amazing people from Tai's events. He really does bring together a great group of people. And this is the thing, there's a lot of things online about Tai. Some people might call, is he a scammer, course seller, whatever it is. But honestly, I have nothing but good words to say about Tai. And that's from going to multiple of his events, investing money to go to his events, meeting people, chatting with him. And I think him and his team, they've built something great. And he's a really, really interesting character. But I know he's doing the house party thing now, and I'll probably go to that if I'm out that direction in LA. I would most definitely go there. Right now I'm in beautiful UK here in a nice hotel for the weekend. But that's what I've learned from Tai. It's been a wild journey reflecting on it, but he made me leave my job, also told me to read a lot more, which I have done, and then he told me that my last business model was broken and how important networking is. And it's really interesting when you look back, like Steve Jobs says, you get to connect the dots. But I'll leave this video here, just a quick one. Got to keep up this weekly content. Hope you enjoyed it. Talk soon.